friends, and welcome back to the
morning.
Dynamite Book. I look shiny. Good God. All right. Hi, everybody. So, what a time. This was an episode, I would say. This was definitely an episode of Dynamite tonight. A lot of
That's for
things
sure.
happened. There was a lot. I feel like
Too much.
they what's going on? Okay. There was a lot. You feel like it was too much? I do feel like yeah, it was a lot. And you know what? I feel like we still didn't get like a final card rundown for Forbidden Door. It feels like they added a lot of things, but we still don't have confirmation on like exactly what's happening. I'm assuming that's because I expect Collision to be big. I think it's going to be a big Collision on Saturday. So,
I mean,
I think
I agree that you're probably right. I think my part of my frustration comes in and like I like a lot of these ideas. I do. And I understand that scheduling, makes things difficult, this, that, and the third. But we've been struggling to understand the Forbidden Door plot these past few weeks. And today it feels like you just, all these things that we could have been building on, we could have been working on. You're like, actually, everybody named Mama's here. And they're all going to be on the card. I'm like, why was we starving for the last few weeks then? If you had this.
Yeah, I will say though, I did not expect that many New Japan guys to be on tonight. Like, it feel like everybody pulled up, or at least had a little video package. I said,
Yep,
we got Stardom involvement, more Stardom involvement. There's so much happening, and I do think that it's going to be more clear because on Saturday it looks like we have 3 women's matches for Collision. 3.
Yep.
And I think that
Which
Serena Deeb's challenger. The girl can't stop winning.
Equality.
I do think that Serena Deeb's challenger is going to end up being Tam Nakano, which is going to be insane. So let's start from what happened right before Dynamite. So right before Dynamite, it was announced Chris Statlander made a little video because the beach break card was announced. So we have Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale happening next week on Dynamite. We have who else is Jeff Jarrett versus the Wild Card on Dynamite next week. And what is the other Owen Hart tournament match? I forgot. Who else is in that tournament? Fuck if I know. Oh, it's Pac versus the winner of Danielson and Shingo. And so Willow, Chris was like, Long Island is our hometown. So, let's do a little preview tag, which I love preview tags. And also, if MJF gets to have a match on Forbidden Door for no reason other than it's Long Island, Chris and Willow should as well. And so it's going to be Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe, which is amazing. Like, I love Momo. I think the Stardom hasn't always done right by her. But for people who aren't familiar with Momo Watanabe, she's amazing. She is a major heel in the Oedo Tai faction in Stardom. And so she's a former white belt champion, which is the Wonder of Stardom championship. So it really fits for her to, be tagging with Chris on this heel run. And then it's going to be Willow and a partner of her choosing, who is pretty safe to say is going to be Tam Nakano, who she faced in Stardom for the TBS championship recently as Stardom Flashing Champions. And so super fun stuff. So that tag match is happening. I'm super excited about it. 3 women's matches on Forbidden Door and 3 women's matches that make sense. I don't know. I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't be happier. Like, the women's build has really carried. And you know what? I think that we should start the show off with the women tonight, talking about what they did, and leave the men for last because they got a lot going on. As they
deserve.
Exactly.
Too much.
The men have a lot going on. So let's start with we have the tag that I just mentioned.
The way I can't remember anything, when I tell you, I had the craziest day. I haven't slept in like 2 days. And I was talking to my mom earlier. This is
This is a safe space.
Out of nowhere.
Oh, go ahead.
My mom out of nowhere, she was like, "Oh, Amelia?" Yeah. She was like, "Yeah, I had a dream the other day, and you'll never guess who was in it." My mom, who has the most random, like, she only watches wrestling every once in a while when I have it on. She's like, "I had a dream that Darby Allin dropped a baby off from my front doorstep, and it had like half its face painted." And I was like, "What?"
Oh.
So I just been thinking about it.
Okay. You know what? I just realized.
But anyway, the tag.
Oh, I was going to say, I just realized I just jumped into the show today, like, just immediately start. I didn't ask if like we had any updates or anything to share. We just kind of like jumped right into it. Now, like, we didn't even, you know.
Well, I got a new job, so that's exciting. I'm really excited about it.
How? I mean, don't share it on here. Don't share it on here. But is it in the same field of like your old job, or is it completely different?
Yes, but cooler.
Okay.
Yes, but cooler. So I'm very excited.
Cooler,
and I'm making a lot more. So yeah, add me to the Rob list. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Maybe I can get better Wi-Fi.
Add the money, y'all.
Yeah.
4 people around. 4 people around.
How are you, Lyric?
With your broke ass. Yeah. I am in a similar boat. Things aren't 100% final yet, but I do have some new opportunities coming my way, which is very comforting because it's been a very rough last couple of months. And today I got my confirmation. So I'm going to Forbidden Door. You'll see your girl at the scrum. It's super, I will say, Forbidden Door is really special for me. That was the first scrum that I've ever done. That was the first media anything that I've ever done. And so, like, 1 year later, this will be the 10th credentialed event that I've ever done. So, like, to be able to say that I did Forbidden Door last year. I did, what was next? All in London. I did Wrestle Dream. I did Wrestle Kingdom, Noah New Year, All Japan Mania X, New Japan New Year's Dash, New Japan Windy City Riot, AEW Revolution. And so this is lucky number 10. AEW New Japan Forbidden Door. So yeah, it's really affirming.
Gonna be in New York.
And I'm excited.
Yeah.
In New York, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to it just because it's Long Island, and so it's hard to get around. It's harder to get around because I would love to spend all my time in the city and then come back just for the show. But it's just sometimes it's a little hard to get around. But either way, like, I'm grateful and I'm thankful.
Look out for
it's really I would do my best. I'm not gonna lie. I do want to see that Spider-Man with the Timbs on in the subway. That would make me very happy. Dragon the Timbs. It's a real niggle giggle, So yeah, that's the type of content that I'm here for. But yeah, I think that's really it on updates. I've been posting a lot of non-wrestling content recently. So there's been some recaps of the last season of Bridgerton and Doctor Who, and I'm watching The Bear right after this because it's fun. During Dynamite, it came out at 9 p.m. EST. You need to.
That's what everybody says. They're like, this is funny. I'm
like, it's not funny. You need to watch.
I don't think I would like it.
I think you would. Sometimes you have a very dry humor, and if you have a good dry humor, I think The Bear might be for you.
Well, I hope you enjoy that. You live your truth. You live your life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the women's business. And so you were saying, we talked about the tag match. We're doing the women first.
Oh, yeah. I really enjoyed this match. I hate, and I know you and I have differing opinions on this, I hate can they coexist? I always hate it. Just as a premise, I'm like, we don't
Wait,
need to do
we're
it,
talking about the
especially
women,
right
not
before
that tag
pay-per-view.
match. Wait.
Oh,
We're starting with the women first. We're not talking about that. Unless you
I'm
wanted to
talking
start
about
with the main event, we can.
I was talking about the trios.
Oh,
match.
you're talking about the 6-woman tag. My fault. Continue.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
My bad. I was like, unless I dreamed it. Shit.
No. I'm stupid. I'm fucked
We
up.
can start wherever you'd like, Lyric. I'll wait right here.
No. You're right. You're correct. You're correct.
Here,
My fault.
Here.
Here.
I saw that full video earlier, like the whole music video. It had me dying. A little butterfly thing, but anyway.
You gotta see the live version.
Yeah, so I don't want that. Oh no, that video where she's at like that like talk show.
Yes.
Silly. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway. I hate the premise of the can they coexist, and we had 2 of these on this card. I very much enjoyed this 6-woman tag though, and it had nothing to do with Saraya or the Outcasts. I thought that it was a great showcase of Mina. First and foremost, she looked great in this match. Second of all, that Mina and Mariah, the dance is iconic. We need more of it on TV. We need more fun in wrestling. I love it. I know I tweeted it, but I know DG was in the back just waiting for his Club Venus call up. And I was right there with him. Listen, but yeah, I mean, I thought that this was like, I don't like the will they won't they premise, or can they coexist premise, whatever. I thought that the ending to this match, I don't know if I like it. I think it depends on where they go, because I think it's been clear these past few weeks that like, Tony, you cool or whatever, but you not Mina to Mariah, you know. And I don't necessarily, with that ending, I don't see the vision as clearly anymore, you know, of just a Mariah turn on Tony, which I'm ready to happen. So yeah, what do you think?
So I'm not gonna lie, as a daughter of the fan fiction generation, I love a good can they coexist. I'm not gonna lie. I do. I do.
You're not gonna sit up here and act like I'm not a daughter of the fan fiction generation.
But I'm not saying that you're not. What I'm saying is that everybody has their own favorite tropes, right? Like there's some fan fiction tropes that I hate, and there's some that other people love. I love a good like having enemies work together. I think it adds a little bit of drama, you know? And I think that it worked really well here. I think Mina looked like a superstar. Anna Jay, god damn. Girl. Whoo. God smiled. That's all I know how to say. Wow. I don't know why they had you with Saraya and Harley Cameron. But here's the thing. I see Anna. If anybody is like really negating her growth, especially in 2024 alone, they're not paying attention. I think,
or they're intentionally being stupid.
Absolutely, she's developing. Obviously, she's drop dead gorgeous, but she is really developing into the total package, and I really hope that they do something substantial with her going forward, because I think that she has a lot of potential. I think Mariah looked great in this match. I think, for me personally, for somebody who's followed like Club Venus from the day that they debuted to now, like to see Rose Gold like get that moment of doing the dance on the Dynamite stage, and it's literally like a little bit, maybe a year and 3 days from when they won the tag belts, the goddess belts in Stardom. Like that's just so poetic to me. Like that really hit different. It was super, like I got emotional. Like it really hit different. And so that was beautiful. And I think that Mariah is just really good at the little things. Like in the middle of the match, her facial expressions of constantly looking back and constantly like, you know, cowering a little bit whenever she felt like she was getting caught. Like she's really good at the little things. And I think that Toni Storm, she really is good at her gimmick in the sense of like even when Mariah and Mina start dancing, her trying to like catch the rhythm and being like completely offbeat. And Toni Storm has this way of convincing you that she is a 57-year-old woman when the gag is that she's only 3 years older than Mariah and Mina is older than both of them. But Toni just has this way about her of making herself just seem like, you know, so timeless, you know, in a sense. And for the finish, listen, the ending, that bottle, they gagged me. They gagged me. And I think they gagged everybody because, like, you know,
oh my God, she killed her.
Like, the thing is, because, you know, everybody was having a good time. You know, they gave them both the champagne, etc. So the crowd is still cheering, etc. And I kid you not, when she cut her over the head with that bottle, the whole sound cut out. People didn't know whether to boo or cheer. They said, "Oh, cut the cameras." Dead ass.
Dead ass.
I'm like, oh my God. I said, oh my God, she's dead. And then the security to try to take Nina away and Toni falling out. Listen, I think it's still a bait and switch. I feel like this is a part of my Mariah and Mina evil plan.
I feel like it has to be, because otherwise I would have done this a few weeks ago. To you know, if this was really a matter of, you know, I would have played up the confusion and stuff for a little bit more before the actual Forbidden Door match. So I agree with you in that I think it's probably a bait and switch.
I do believe that. But either way, I would like to say shout out to everybody involved. I would say who's been involved. Well, not the match. I'm talking about the story.
Oh. Okay.
No, not the match. The storyline. They've done a fantastic job. Like I will say, like they've really done a fantastic job, and I think that this has been. I feel like Toni Storm is the first woman character in AEW that has gotten full investment from the company, like all in on everything that she's done, everything she's been a part of. And we are now reaping the benefits of that. And I think I said on this show that this is going to be the height of her reign. Like this stretch from the Forbidden Door build to All In, this is going to be where the Timeless Toni character really shines. However, there is one thing, and I think that in the midst of the Forbidden Door build, because Mariah has been so special, I'm not sure has there been any real focus on the AEW Women's World Championship?
No,
I don't know. And I'm sure that they intend to. I think Mariah is focused on it, which we will see more, you know, as the Owen Hart Cup plays out. But, and I don't blame Mercedes for that. I think it's just because they're in an angle. I think they're just in an angle that has it's honestly a story that doesn't need a title.
That's what I've been saying since the beginning, is that, and I also think in order to have a substantive division, you need to have stories like this outside of the title picture.
Absolutely.
And this was a story that we could have done all of this without the belt. And Mercedes is in her own lane. She has 100%. Not, you know, she has not really interacted with none of these people, not really since she debuted. It has not really been teased or hinted that this is the belt that she wants, you know. I don't blame Mercedes at all. I think that I do wish, though, because I think right now we're having Willow and Chris engaged in this huge, you know, blood feud, this huge battle, not focused on the title either, you know. Somebody needs to be focused on the title.
And I think that that's going to be the importance of, and maybe that's why they've held off a bit on really, because I feel like obviously we've had a few matches, like we've had 2 matches, but I don't think that the Owen Hart Cup for the women really kicks off next week, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it's really going to kick off then. And like I said, like the thing is, I'm gonna be honest, this is the only time I'm gonna say this, but Mercedes has only been a positive to this women's division. She has taken nothing from anybody else. Like she's taken nothing. Like she gets her shit in. She doesn't take up that much TV time. And when she does, it's well deserved. She's doing this build with Stephanie Vicaire, from CMLL. She's very much so in that the space that Kenny Omega took up in Forbidden Door last year of being like the dream match space, and same thing like what Danielson Okada last year. That's what she's doing. Like as far as the AEW women's division building their own stories and within each other, like everybody has really gotten a chance to shine. And I think that also like they've really been utilizing a lot of the other shows for the women, which I appreciate because I think that Rampage has been a much better show recently, much better show across the board. And I think that same thing with Collision, like we said earlier, there's going to be probably 3 women's matches on Collision this week. And so like, it's super cool. I think that we're going to eventually get there with this AEW Women's World Title story. I do think we eventually get there, with Mariah, starting with Mariah Saraya, and then as she goes through the Owen Hart Cup. But I do wish that we focus just a little bit more during this feud on the importance of the AEW Women's World Championship. Like it needs to be about the belt. And that is one thing. So a lot of people have a lot of things to say about the Swerve Ospreay feud.
That's what I was going to say.
But that is one thing that they have done is that their feud is very much so about that belt. And I think that it makes the AEW World Championship feel like the biggest thing in the world. Now, does this sometime come to the detriment?
Let's get to Kesta. We're getting closer. 266.
She's coming for you. Does that sometimes come to the detriment for the international championship? Yes. But I mean, Billy Goat been racking up defenses in the meantime. So I mean, hey. But that is one thing that I do have to say about this build. But everything else, Mina, Mariah, Tony, very well done. And also, Mina working the schedule that she has, because the thing is, she hasn't really been missing Stardom dates like that for people who keep up with Stardom. She's really been making most of her Stardom dates and flying to AEW every other week during this, which is extremely impressive. And then 2, I don't believe in the word quote unquote poaching, but y'all got to find a way to keep her around after this. I don't know how you do it.
100%.
But like, I just can't imagine, like she has gotten more she's gotten more TV time and more over than half the women on the, I'm sorry, AEW, you got to find a way to bring her in like fairly recently. Maybe she can be the new Vikingo, sign, unsigned. I don't know.
He not dead, but
but you got to find a way to keep Mina Shirakawa in the fold, which I do believe, because is going to happen. I think the next step is Mercedes wins that New Japan Strong Women's Championship, and then I think Mina is going to become a challenger. I think that Mina should be the one that takes it off her, actually. For that to be an international belt, I think keep it. I think that Mina should be the one that, that takes it off of her eventually. I do.
I'll consider it.
That's fine. Listen, we still have to, 1, she has to win the belt, and then 2, she has to have like a reign. So it's too early to really start saying, but I do believe that Mina has a very bright future. And Agreed. She has a very bright future.
All elite one.
Absolutely. And it's just, that's all it is to it. And then speaking of Mercedes, I would like to say this. A lot of y'all talk greasy on my mother's mic skills. A lot of y'all talk real greasy. And I remember, and I'm going to be honest, when she first got to AEW, it wasn't always that strong. But these last couple weeks, I would say from those last couple weeks heading into Double or Nothing, that built with her and Willow up until now, she's been killing it. She's been eating her points. I feel like she's just been trying to get more comfortable on the mic and in a non-scripted environment. And somebody pointed this out on Twitter of just, is she still a little bit too reliant on catchphrases? Yes. I do agree with that. But I do think that she does it because have y'all met Mercedes' fan base? Like, let's be for real. Some of them are stubborn. Like, some of them still are committed to calling her Sasha for the rest of her life, for calling her the boss. They still think this AEW, like this global revolution thing is like a phase. And so, like, I feel like she's trying to, like, hammer it home for her to, like, this is me now. But at a certain point, they either get it or they don't, baby.
See, I don't feel like that. I feel like she's just doing it because, like you said, she is still waiting to get more comfortable. And like, okay, fine, you can rely on certain things that like you ain't really gotta think about, like the hits, I guess. I mean, I personally have never been a fan of Mercedes promos, but that doesn't hinder me from being a Mercedes fan. In the we've said it before on the show,
like
right?
Kenny Omega.
I 9 times out of 10, I'm not looking for Kenny Omega to cut the promo of the night. All right, ring the damn bell.
Ring the bell. That's it.
And then that more than makes up for it to me. And I agree.
No, I was gonna say I agree, but I do realize, like, for a lot of her fan base, I do think that they appreciate her wrestling, but they are used to environments where other stuff is what's showcased more. Like, we have to remind ourselves, Mercedes became special because she was a wrestler in a space where there wasn't a lot of true wrestlers. And so when you do spend most of your time in 5-minute matches, heavy promo segments, whole lot of like sports entertainment angles and stuff like that. And so I do think that people are reconditioning themselves to like focus on what matters. Like, you know, like you said, when we go to see Mercedes Moné, we here to see ring the bell. All that other stuff, serve me a look and ring the bell. Period. And those are two things that she's always
That's it. That's all I need, girl.
Ring the bell. Also,
and ring the bell.
Mercedes.
Let me see the wig and hit that meteor, girl.
Also, this wig, disgusting. This wig right here,
girl. We've been waiting for a switch up. Come on.
And also, listen, I understand that she's been really happy about like doing this bob look with the cut in the back, the long hair being back. It does.
I like the bob. I like the bob.
It moved me. I do like the bob to an extent, but this right here, this hair, also shout out to Mercedes for putting her money where her mouth is. That Arena Mexico appearance, her naming herself La Jefa
instead of the boss.
Like, you know,
Stephanie clocked her shit, bro.
She sure did. She said, "In my house, we speak Spanish, bitch." Oh. Listen,
it's like you seen that clip. You seen that clip of like that show where that girl comes on. She's like, "Hello," and the judge is like, "No, ningún hello, okay? Aquí se habla español." I said, "Oh, Stephanie, wake her up. Wake her up." I'm so scared of her.
I think that like the happiness in genuine contentment and purpose is just radiating out of Mercedes right now. Like, she is exactly where she's supposed to be because she wants to be there, you know, like, and I'm gonna be honest, there are certain goals and there are certain mountains that you cannot reach by staying in the same place. Like, you're staying in the place and doing the same thing over and over again. If you really want to be, I think of somebody like Bull Nakano, right? Recently inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And guess what? She was the first CMLL women's champion. She won championships in All Japan Women's Wrestling. She won championships on WWF. She conquered every single territory in wrestling. And she's considered one of the greatest of all time. Like, to truly be able to be considered a world beater, you have to go out into the world. And from a female wrestler perspective, from our generation, nobody has really done that. And Mercedes is in uncharted waters. And I think that Stephanie Vaquer is also one of those people. I think is going to be considered a real world beater and one of the greatest of all time, because you can just see it's written all over her. She's going to conquer everything. Mm-hmm. It's written all over her. And so, like,
there are certain people in wrestling. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say there's certain people in wrestling that like you look at and you're like, I am real life scared of you. Like, I'm sure you're a very nice person, but there are very few characters in wrestling, very few people that you watch and you're like, ugh. Stephanie is one of them. For me, Pac is another. I'm trying to think who else where I fully buy in and like buy your character. You want to beat the shit out of people.
100%.
You know?
She got to beat Mercedes' ass. Like, it's about to be 80-20 for that match, and it's going to be great. It's going to be so great.
She's going to beat the brakes off her, bro.
She going to beat her ass, especially when Mercedes picked that belt up and ran around with them 2 belts and slapped, because Mercedes love a good slap. And in Arena Mexico, I said, oh, she's going to beat you up. She's going to beat you up so bad. You're going to escape that match. You're going to win. Like, Mercedes is going to win, but she's going to have so many knots on her head. It's going to be crazy, bro. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be like when Tam Nakano, be escaping the matches with knots on her head. She might win, but she going to get some knots on her head.
Brother.
And so, yeah, I'm just really happy. I'm really happy for this match. I'm really happy at how things are going. I'm really happy that Mercedes is happy. And for anybody, if you're not subscribed to her newsletters, I think you should. They're very heartfelt and they're really emotional. Like, she's been going through a lot family-wise, and just for her to be in a supportive environment that allows her to pursue everything, because Mercedes is a star. Wrestling is not the only thing that makes her special. Like, what people have to remind themselves of is she's been the primary breadwinner for her entire family for most of her 20s and 30s. Like, I mean, everything that she's accomplished is amazing. And so I just have nothing but great things to say. Does Mercedes ever eventually challenge for Stephanie's other titles in Arena Mexico? I do believe yes. I think that they did the first match in New Japan.
You have to.
I think the second match happens in AEW and the third match happens in CMLL. And I think this is where Mercedes got to lay down. Yeah, I'm going to be honest. You ain't coming in nah, you got to lay down at Arena Mexico now. You got to lay, you do.
Crib,
you do that.
That's her crib,
That's
bro.
big. That's La Primera's house. I mean, I'm sorry. La Primera's casa. Sorry. She's definitely going back to a wrestle in Arena Mexico. And also, I don't know if anybody saw, look at her story. Mercedes just got her Japan visa cleared. So expect to see my good sister in Stardom real soon. So there's that.
There were also men on this show.
There were also men, but let's start with the good stuff. So, actually, no. We started with a lot of talking. Let's start with the wrestling on this show. So we started off with BCC versus LIJ. That was great. I had a great time. We moved. Listen, I prayed for this and it happened. I can't believe that it took this long for Shingo Takagi and Hiromu Takahashi to finally be on Dynamite, but it finally happened. Thank God. And I would also like to say, before I let you go, I don't believe in the P word. I don't believe in the P word, y'all. But I would like to say New Japan Wrestling. No, poaching. That's the P word. Okay. That's what I mean. Girl, what did you think I meant?
I don't know. I said, I don't know what kind of show this is. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't believe in the P word now. However, anybody who actually watches New Japan Pro Wrestling knows that New Japan Pro Wrestling has not been treating Shingo Takagi right. And I don't want to be that person. But
I gotta be honest though.
Go ahead.
I don't think AEW would do right by him either.
I don't think he should stay, but I do believe that I know that I'm not saying that he should be signed. No, that's not where I'm going with this. But I feel like Shingo Takagi has felt like more of a legitimate real killer in the last 3 weeks than he has in New Japan for the last 2 years. And I think that an extended excursion, aka a Continental Classic run, if you're nasty,
if you're nasty, it's crazy,
would be amazing. I think, because here's the thing, I hate to be like this. I put Shingo Takagi and Kenny Omega in the same boat. They're both early 40s. I think Shingo's 41, Kenny is 40. Are they still in their in-ring prime when they're healthy? Absolutely. But that prime is running out soon. Not saying that, will they have probably long careers and they could go up to like age 50? Sure. Cool. But the years of being able to like churn out 6-star matches just like that, those are not going to be around for forever. As much as it hurts. And I just feel like I think that was why I was so frustrated sometimes last year with Kenny's booking. Because I'm like, guys, do you realize what he put his body through over his career? He's not going to be able to do this forever. And y'all wasting time? Like, we wasting
time. Losing an MJF collision.
We wasting time? Like, we're wasting time. Even like the Kenny
Takeshita losing recipes.
Like, you fighting Takeshita like he's just the muscle. And like you beefing with Don Callis. It don't work like that. It shouldn't work like that. Don't get me wrong. Nobody loved Kenny Omega teaming up with Hangman Page and Kota Ibushi at the same damn time more than me at All In. But that was perfect time for a Kenny Omega singles match.
But also he has said that he didn't feel physically up to a singles match at that point. So there were also points last year. You know, there were also points last year where I was like, at the time I was very frustrated by it, and then has since gotten some context. You know, but I think your point still remains where you're like, okay, yes, we have to be very smart about what we do now.
Absolutely. And he even said, like, it took him like what, damn near 6 months to be able to recover from the first Ospreay match to be able to do another one. So I feel the same way about Shingo. And Shingo hasn't had as much of an injury history as Kenny, but like, you know, age-wise, it's still very similar. And I do put him on the same tier as far as in-ring performer. And so New Japan has just, I'm going to be honest, has been wasting his time. And we've been wasting my time. And especially now that, you know, the Never Openweight Championship is finally on Hanare, I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying that Shingo should go to AEW because I'm going to be honest, AEW's top guy thing is just too stacked. And I don't recommend anybody signing anytime soon. And, you know, the thing is, you know, Will Ospreay out here telling all his friends that we just got contracts to give out. You know, just pull up. Tony pay you whatever you want. So, like,
I said you're good, so you're good.
Will Ospreay. I don't think people, if you follow Ospreay's career, by this time next year, AEW is going to be really British, and a lot of people are going to be asking, how did it get that way? You know, when Ospreay got that Supermax contract, he told everybody he knew. You know, he told everyone he knew. Come in, the water's fine. They giving out money over here. You can pull up whenever you want.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, one time a week. Like, y'all. I just don't think, and don't get me wrong. I'm sure. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna talk about the whole opener. So you go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say that yeah, y'all know, and Ospreay and Shingo go way back. So I wouldn't be surprised if he done had this conversation with him too, saying, listen, I don't like how they
doors wide open. Everybody
like,
works here.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think we've ever talked about it on the show, but I think this is a great time to like just briefly touch on. Will Ospreay went on the internet and said, Ricochet, I don't like how they treat you over there. I don't like how they treat you. crazy?
Now, I don't know the definition of contract tampering. And I'm sure that you from wrestler to wrestler can't do that. But how funny is it?
That's what y'all people. I think so.
Said, so matter of fact, who don't work here yet?
It's so funny because people were like, some people said a couple years ago. What was it? People said when Ospreay said that thing about Triple H, he shouldn't burn bridges. He might want to go to WWE later his career. Guys, Ospreay is building an army. He thinks that him and Tony Khan are like working together. Like he think that he in the booth. Like he in the booth. He think that he's like Tony writing the checks and he's drafting. Like Will Ospreay got it in his head. He's drafting a team. And you know what? I gotta respect it. He said, listen, I don't like
he's just like me. If I had a billionaire in my pockets, bro, everybody getting some.
And also truly, like
Collision could be yours. I'll sell it to you. I don't give a fuck.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, if I get enough capital to build my own like wrestling media company, I'm 100% poaching. I'm 100% going to all of the women and that I respect in all these respective websites and organizations and saying, I don't like how they treat you. Come in here, the water's fine. I would 100% do it. I would 100% do it. So I say all this to say I'm almost positive. Like, you know, Shingo been trying to get over to AEW for a while. I ain't saying he's trying to stay. I did not say that. So for y'all put that out there, I didn't say that. But if you don't believe that Will Ospreay has told him that they just got contracts to give out, you're fooling yourself. And I just think that Shingo specifically could really do with a change of scenery. And honestly, that doesn't have to mean just AEW. That could mean, you know, doing some more dates, going back to Dragon Gate. That could mean, like, you know, just really shopping around, like, you know, Japan. But he's such a special talent. And I feel like he's kind of in the same position that Shibata was in, of just like, I could stay here, but they don't really want to use me like that. And like Shingo has just been put in that position to where he's been propping up a whole bunch of wrestlers that he's better than. Like, I'm sorry. If I gotta watch this G1 Climax, if I gotta watch this motherfucker lose to David Finlay, I might shoot myself. What? Suddenly, right when I said that, it just became like my picture just like blew up on the screen, and that became super odd. Sorry about that.
Guys who missed me.
Yes. I would say it's so funny because like as soon as you popped off the screen, I said if I go watch Shingo Takagi put over David Finlay, I might shoot myself. And then it suddenly was just like my face.
And then my head hit the wall.
And then my head hit the wall. And I began to pass out. But I had a praying grandmother. Listen, y'all.
Speaking of killing ourselves. Oh, all right. This I meant this has been the most random order to talk about things. But that's what I said when I heard the I am the learning tree. My immediate response was, I'll keep myself and everybody in here. And my mom was like,
You know, when you get in that feelings, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I got to that point twice tonight. Once was during the learning tree segment, and then second was during the acclaim segment. I was like, you know, I'll end it right here. I'll end it right now. And also, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I'm lying. It was 3 times because once that MJF Daniel Garcia promo hit the 10-minute mark, I was like, all right. And we did all this to say so, and they just kept reading out each other's accolades. Like they just kept reading out. I'm saying y'all are not saying
dick riding.
You like it. I said, okay, you're like each other.
Dick riding each other. I'm like, shit, should I leave?
And also, it's my thing is like, who the fuck wrote that? I'm gonna be honest, who wrote that? Because why is it just like MJF, you do care about your colleagues and you do put people over. Like, bro, why did we need to put that out on Dynamite? And also, too, just Daniel Garcia. Does anybody remember that actual match that happened? That actual world title match that happened? It was less than 10 minutes. It was nothing to write home about.
Say,
so like, why are we acting like this was like a match of the year contender? Like that match was less than 10 minutes.
But you know what blows me? And I said this from the minute that he came out, I was like, he does not understand that he is not world champion anymore. You can't have 15 minutes to talk you don't have a belt. You're not in the Owen. You don't have any standing to be able to say, I respect you. I'm gonna What the fuck can you do for him?
I'm going to give you a shot at the king at All In. The first thing I thought is, what the fuck do you mean you are announcing the first match on the Wembley card? Like, what about, respectfully, and I know like a lot, and don't get me wrong, I do understand that MJF is foundational to AEW, and like I do expect him to have like a big time match on the All In card. But what a part of MJF right now gives him the authority to say, I'm going to give you a shot at the king at Wembley Stadium.
I'm like, girl, what the hell you done?
You have no belt, no standing.
Like,
you literally,
like, babe, why would I want that?
You're wearing Triple H's hand-me-down coat from 1999. What are we doing here?
I understand because I think that is part of the storyline, and it's gonna be that, MJF still thinks he runs this, but actually the Ospreay opportunity is bigger. Ospreay's a bigger deal than MJF is now. Like, I understand that. I'm not stupid and I see the storyline. I don't fucking like it. And I don't like it when it takes up a considerable chunk of time on a show, on a card that was really good. There were really good matches on this card. And I think also, like, this is like a tiny thing. AEW is now you are several years in as a company. You have to get your timing right. These overruns might seem harmless to you, but it's just, you need to get a grip. If you think that you've booked much shit, take something off. You've got so many hours of TV. I just don't understand. And it's consistent. It's not like it's every once in a while anymore. It's gotten to be, oh, well, we always have the extra 15 minutes. We always have the extra 20 minutes. That's not how this is supposed to work, bro.
That's also how, I'm not gonna lie, that's also how, if anybody remembers the olden days, way back when Raw used to be 2 hours, that was the slippery slope that we started to trickle down before Raw became 3 hours. And I'm gonna be honest, I am not interested in Dynamite ever becoming 3 hours, especially on a Wednesday. Hell no. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, we might have to cancel this show, respectfully.
If it's 3 hours,
yeah.
Billionaire, I know you may not understand this. The rest of us have jobs. I got places to be on a Thursday morning. All right.
And we don't have private jets.
I committed to 8 to 10. That's all I want to give you, brother.
That's also, I'm gonna be honest, for some of y'all that listen, that's also why this show be starting late. Because like we don't. And I think another thing too is, I think that with so many top guys at the table, I think, I'm gonna be honest, let's just be real. There's a side of wrestling that we don't see, which is politics. And right now you have several top guys that you have to keep happy. And based strictly off of what we have seen in AEW in the past, the most particular of these men probably is Max. And don't get me wrong, my thing is, what else can you give him at this point? He got the main event of All In last year. He got the record for, for longest world champion. He got to beat Kenny Omega to get the record. He literally, what more can you give Max at this point without making him lose? My thing is, we've seen, look at all the other top guys. They've had to lose to win again. Swerve, Hangman, Omega, Danielson, Moxley. Everybody else has had to be torn down and built all the way back up. You mean to tell me that Max comes back and he thinks he's still on the same level he was when he was world champion. He doesn't want to take any L's. He doesn't want to do any real character development. Even the way that he was talking to Daniel Garcia tonight, that was such placating language. Like,
you're not
that language champion that he was using. And also, you're not his father. You're like a year older than him, bro. Like, let's just think about it. MJF is 27. Daniel Garcia is 25.
You'll get there one day, kid. Look me in the eye. Where the fuck is like me personally, Daniel Garcia? I would have beat the brakes off him.
Just me though.
Also, DG, just that fit was cold. That's just me. No, I wouldn't let that happen, especially not my hometown. But he had that shit on, and he looked very good.
He did look very good. And I also would say that it is nice.
Just a notice.
It is nice to see Daniel Garcia be treated like the prettiest girl at the dance. I'm not gonna lie. It's about damn time.
He is.
He is. And I didn't like that. I think that the thing is, don't get me wrong, people are like, he's a heel. He's a heel. He's supposed to do stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah. But guys, MJF does not know how to put over his opponents without sounding condescending. He never makes them look good. Like, he never actually makes them look good.
I guess nobody benefits. You're not,
nobody benefits from any feud. Like, guys, tell me one person who has truly benefited from going up against MJF. Because Daniel Garcia did not benefit last year. He really did. Daniel Garcia made himself a star when he got in that Continental Classic. That's really what happened. Mm-hmm. And I think that another thing is that Ospreay was timed really well. I am not going to lie to you. When he went in there and he ignored Max, I said, wow, he just like me for real. This is what I be doing.
I said this exactly girl.
I said, clock that T. He said, pow. He turned his back and went flying. Where have you been?
Where have you been?
Oh, I like that. I'm not going to lie now. I like that. But the thing is, I think we could have done all of that. There's no reason why that should have taken 20 minutes. We could have done this in 10.
Need to. And we also should have never, it should not be MJF versus that you said, at Forbidden Door, it should be Daniel Garcia.
Correct.
It should be Daniel Garcia. But that's all. I refuse to let that New Yorker take my piece.
Absolutely. But so that was the men's. At first, what else happened tonight? Because there was so much.
Ray Phoenix, Jay White.
Oh yeah, this is one of Jay White's best singles matches in a while. Good job.
And Ray Phoenix looked great. He looked great.
Man, from Lyrics iPhone. That was supposed to happen.
What?
Sorry, my Alexa started talking.
Scared the life out of me.
Thank you, Shay. We appreciate you, girl. I do this every week.
That's true. That's true. Jay White, I gotta be honest, like I'm not in the camp of people that are like, oh, what are you doing with him? Because I never thought that he was gonna step into AEW and be top status. I looking at the roster top to bottom, I was like, I mean, you're good. But I don't know what to do with you yet. And I think I love the Bang Bang Gang. I think this match, like he said, was by far one of his better singles matches. I don't really want to see him go much further in the Owen.
He's not. He's not. Don't worry, because he's not. He's not. And the thing is, I think that Jay White is, how do I say this? I think he needs to earn goodwill back through wrestling. And I think now that Juice Robinson is able to take over some of this trio stuff, I think that in the singles matches going forward, he needs to get in the booth. Because let's just be real. On any other roster, Jay White would probably stick out. Because guess what? Jay White is an A-tier wrestler. I do believe that. But unfortunately, AEW is a company full of S-tier wrestlers. And so, how do I say this? A Chrysler looked like a Phantom until a Phantom pull up.
Crazy.
And so I think that for people who aren't as familiar with Jay White, I think that he still has some goodwill to earn, I think, in ring. I do believe that out of all the people in the Continental Classic last year, I'm not saying his performance was bad, but it wasn't great. I think a lot of other people had great performances.
He didn't stand out in a positive way.
Exactly. Even Andrade. Like Andrade had a standout performance in the Continental Classic, and he don't even work there no more. Also, I would like to say it really does suck because I'm not gonna hold you. I know Andrade would have been in the nastiest CMLL singles match on this card. He would have. If he
whose fault is that?
Oh yeah, well he's gonna have to have fun with Speed. I don't know what to tell you. Tell him. But
I've been saying this and nobody listens to me. But WWE has Speed and AEW needs to have Meth.
Let's move on.
Nobody listens to women anymore.
Yeah, let's move on. Also, going back to that opening trios match, I would like to say that match going to DQ. I started choking because I didn't understand what was happening when Mox pulled out that chair, and then like Manito's music had hit, and like shout out to Rich Latta because he said, I know this is fake because when do LIJ members come out to save each other? And I will be honest, Naito really took his time. Like I knew
he didn't want to.
The fact that he undressed, like what were you about to do?
It's giving Jeff Hardy on the ramp.
I love wrestling, man, bro. Shingo got in Danielson's face, started talking shit. I said, I've never seen him act like that before. I said, y'all get the AEW start acting different. I said,
but that also blew me because Danielson. That also blew me because Danielson was sitting there watching the BCC get beat down with an extra man. He was like, I mean, it happens on commentary. I'm like, girl, get up.
Still talking on commentary. Still talking. My thing is like, you know what I feel? I feel like there's currently like this generational divide right now in AEW of just like, you got like the younger guys. So like I would say the 35s and unders for the most part. And like, that's the Swerves, the Ospreays, the Hangmans, the Daniel Garcias and MJFs. Like they got their own thing going on. And then you got the grown and sexy crowd. And that's like BCC, like these are the old folk. Okay. Like they're not going to fall for the bait of somebody getting beat down, coming to say, like, literally, you got to fix it. You just got to, whatever's going on with you, you got to fix it. You know how many times Willa Yuta has been left to get his ass beat? Okay, like, at this point, he knows at this point, if he want to hang out with the old heads, he just got to deal with it. You know, Hiromu, Shingo, Naito, they done been around the block. Teton, you kind, beautiful soul. But everybody else, they like Teton and Yuta, they know to hang out with the big boys. Like you just got to hang, okay? You just got to deal with it. And so I'm here for it. That was funny. That popped me. I can't believe it took this long to get a Shingo and Naito singles match on Forbidden Door, but we're finally here. And also, I love how much Tetsuya Naito does not give a fuck about American wrestling. The way that he has completely decentered American wrestling, it's inspiring almost. Like he doesn't care.
He said, baby, these time constraints. And what?
He said, you're gonna wait for me. You need me. And that's that. That's the T. And so what was next? We had Christian Cage come out on Dynamite and address that was the Jay White match. That was after the Jay White match, which was cool. They're challenging for the trios tournament, and then we were addressed by our EVPs backstage. They said that they want all the gold, and they said that next week the wild card will be handpicked by the elites. He's coming.
Hangman, answer me now.
Yes, I would like to say this show, if nobody else kept ringing that bell, kept ringing the bell for Hangman Adam Page, you have been missed, my beloved. I will welcome you with open arms and open heart. It is so good to see. I'm already claiming it. He's coming back. He's coming home. He's coming
Come home. The kids miss you.
He's coming home. And we would also like to take this brief intermission to say, get well soon, Kenny Omega. We need all of you back.
We love you, Kenny Omega. Back. We miss you, Kenny Omega.
We miss you, Kenny Omega. Listen, and I feel like Earth is healing. I don't know. Kenny might have been lying and blowing smoke up my ass when he was saying that give him a couple months and in Wembley Stadium he'll be back. But you know what? I choose to believe. I've never believed a man before, but I'm a choose today. I trust him. I trust him. Also, if anybody hasn't been paying attention, Kota Ibushi is getting back in the ring soon. He's doing a 5-minute exhibition.
That man.
He did get surgery, so listen. I'm trying not to judge.
See, like literally, like last week, he posted a picture of his ankle. He was like, "Part of it's missing." What? The fuck are you talking about?
My God. I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I don't know whose videos scare me more, Kota Ibushi or Katsuhiko Nakajima's. If anybody's been keeping up with Nakajima, that motherfucker is nuts. But and it's so crazy because both of them
stressed me out so bad.
It's crazy because both of them had a match. They have a match coming up in GLEAT. So they're both having, I guess, their return matches of GLEAT, whatever. Like, I feel like GLEAT must be a money laundering scheme because, bro, what are y'all doing? And what kind of insurance y'all got? Like, what kind of insurance y'all got? But okay.
Bro, Ibushi's last match at GLEAT, where he was like, yeah, I think I broke both my ankles. That's not okay.
I mean, that was in GLEAT. Bro, at GLEAT, did you see he did a complete moonsault off of the stands in Ryogoku? Like,
we need group therapy for him and Darby.
Here's the thing, though. I understand why Darby act the way that he do because he really do come back every time.
He's like, I mean, but it didn't kill me that time.
Kota Ibushi, not so much. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's still hit hard from that one injury in 2021 and has never been the same. Darby gets hit by a bus and comes back stronger. Like, it's kind of nuts. He said, actually, I broke my foot, so hang me by my ankles like a human pinata. And
I know what'll work. And then leave my ass there like a bat.
Exactly. Like, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Darby Allin is in a league of his own. I don't even like to compare nobody to him because I already know how he gets down. So I think the Hangman is back, and I would like to remind people because somebody asked me this question. Hangman was never kicked out of the Elite. Hangman was suspended because EVPs had no choice because
Kenny was fired.
He assaulted multiple referees.
Wow.
And so, guys, hey, that's how the cookie crumbles. But he's coming back. Listen, any chance that Hangman because we have to remind ourselves how the Hangman Swerve where we left off. Swerve it flat out told Hangman, I don't want you to have access to me anymore. I want to choose myself in this season. I want to be me. I want to leave this toxic relationship. And Hangman said, no. And so here's the thing.
You'll never get rid of me. Every day you wake up, I'm going to be right there. Restraining orders mean nothing to me. I'm fucking crazy.
And so now that Swerve is world champion, he's never going to give Hangman a spot. So Hangman is going to have to realize that the only way back to Swerve is to earn it. And he will kill all of you to do it. And I would like to say, returning this motherfucker in Chicago is crazy. And against Jeff Jarrett after the best babyface video package I've probably ever seen, that's cinema, baby. And I also did
I want Jack Perry to come out and shake his hand.
Well, yeah, no, I want Kazuchika Okada to come out and shake his hand.
Sesame bitch.
Sesame bitch. Hangman has already sold his soul. He does not. He doesn't have a soul to this.
Well, also saying like to the same people that suspended him, I think that Hangman knows that he's crazy. He knows that he's consumed by this, and he understands that the Elite had to do what they had to do. I think it's more like a business partnership for Hangman, where he's like, if I stick around with these people, I can get an opportunity to get back at Swerve that I probably shouldn't have, you know?
And also, guys, even if he hates them, he will never hate anyone more than he hates Swerve.
True. He's
like
a real hater.
He's a real hater. He hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. He hate the way that you dress. All that. He's a real hater. And not even, I don't even think, he's not even just a hater anymore. He's obsessed. He's obsessed. Yeah, this is obsession, baby. This is obsession. At the end of the day, he know what Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, no matter fuss or fight, they gonna be a part of his life regardless. And so he really can't get rid of them. They done been through too much, you know? But this motherfucker,
to me, it's like, I think it's not even that anymore. I don't think it's not friendship. It's just, this can get me closer to Swerve.
No, I'm not saying that it's like he has attachment to them because of friendship. I think it's just more so of like they're familiar. He'll always have access to them, you know? Mm-hmm. He'll always have access to them. So if he ever wants to settle that score, they're gonna be right there. Swerve has tried to cut access off from him, like, you know, and like he's obsessed. This is an obsessive relationship, guys. I don't know. And the thing is, I don't know. Hey, Swerve still be wearing them tights with Hangman face on the side. He's obsessed too, but he just can't show it. This is delicious, guys. I don't know. We bringing back real feuds returning next week. This is real cinema, baby. The best feud of the last 2 years is returning. And so that's very special. So Hangman is definitely that wild card. I did a quick poll during Dynamite. Do Hangman return with a mustache or no mustache? Mustache won by 85%, 262 votes. Would you look at that? Then we had the Acclaim come out. Ooh. And the EVPs and Okada came out. Scissor me, bitch. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know who asked for this trios match. Tanahashi, I figured you were gonna get on the card some way, form, or fashion. My ace, my president. Why this? And also, I would also like to say, y'all think that y'all are a big politicker. I think that they need to. MJF think he's a politicker. You want to know who's the greatest politicker of all time? Kazuchika Okada. Because the way that Okada avoided a singles match at this Forbidden Door and didn't even give the rest of the young New Japan guys a single thought. He said, y'all thought, I don't give a fuck what title I'm holding. I don't care. Y'all will never be graced with my presence. In fact, I would rather wrestle Billy Gunn's friends and a no-need Tanahashi. You got to think, he just wrestled Tana in February. He said, anyone but you. Anyone but you. Shota Umino, not you. Yota Tsuji, not you. Ren Narita, not you. Kaito Kiyomiya, definitely not you. He said, all of you, absolutely not. Get the fuck up off my life. I gotta respect it. Y'all have my ace saying scissor ace. How dare you? But it's happening. So there we are. I'm trying to get us out of here on time today, y'all. So bear with me. Go ahead.
It's just so funny, man. The whole thing is just, you have to laugh.
You gotta giggle. The respect that I have for Kazuchika Okada, I can never put into words. That's a real worker right there. That's a real
old school
worker. Hulk Hogan ain't got shit on him. He said, absolutely not. Anyone but you. Mm-hmm. Anyone but you. Next, we had a segment. Listen, I've been enjoying this. We had a segment from the conglomeration.
I love this so much.
I'm gonna have to go rewatch that segment on YouTube after this because like that made me giggle so bad.
They deserve everything. Conglomeration, I am your number one fan.
Conglomeration. This is like if Mark Briscoe is like he's like a non-evil country or T.I.
He's like Nader.
Listen, y'all. And then the thing is, if that wasn't enough, this motherfucker Kyle O'Reilly decides to start speaking in a Mark Briscoe accent, and then midway transitions into a British accent. And then Mark Briscoe said, Zack Sabre Jr., you ain't nothing but fish and chips, boy.
He said, you ain't nothing but Peppa Pig. Oh, I sat there and first off, I want to say, right, I love this because sometimes it's just the stranger the combination, the better. And I feel the same way about this that I do Shibata, Hook, and Joe, where I'm like, you're not really doing anything else with these people at this point. Pair them together and let's have some fun.
Let's have fun.
And Kyle O'Reilly deserves the opportunity to be strange. If you've been watching him for a while, you know he's a weird guy. He's a funny, weird guy with a very, a very technical style of wrestling. So he doesn't usually get to be a funny, weird guy. I'm like, you know what, girl? You have your fun. You giggle it up with Mark Briscoe. I'm sitting right here waiting for you, babe.
You know what's really funny? I feel like in AEW right now, we have at least 3 or 4, I would say 4 super serious wrestlers. I would say in Kyle O'Reilly, Shibata, Samoa Joe, and Okada, who are like really finding themselves and being these giant goofs. And it is fantastic. Like, I love that they are being themselves. And I think that is what is so cool about AEW is for wrestlers to have more control over their character, to show sides of themselves, because like any of these people would have been clearly typecast into a certain box, I think, if they were other places, even like in New Japan. But it's really cool watching them find themselves in real time. Like Kyle O'Reilly is weird as hell. Like he in the most adorable way. Like he's such a
I love him, Your Honor. Kyle O'Reilly, you will always have me in your corner. Always.
And Mark Briscoe, listen, Mark Briscoe, I go through so many ranges of emotions. I feel saved. Like I feel like I just went to church, and then suddenly I felt like I was just on the chicken farm, and then suddenly I feel like I'm at a spelling bee competition, and then suddenly I feel like we're on a motivational speaking route, and then suddenly I don't know. I have no idea. He takes me on so many different waves of emotions. He is probably one of the most organic, authentic, genuine promos week to week, and just genuinely engaging. Like he's really like that. And it's just,
and
he's shining.
I want the conglomeration versus the patriarchy as an ongoing feud. I do.
I like that. I need that. All right. So we already talked about the women's trios match going into. Okay. So we're just going to briefly go over the Jericho segment because, like I said, I'm trying to get us out of here on time tonight. So essentially,
the only thing to talk about,
the trios match ain't happening. Minoru Suzuki said, "No, I won't be your partner. I actually want to fight you, bitch." And you know, that's kind of beast, Your Honor. I don't know. That part is kind of beast. Do I want to sit? I'm not gonna lie. This, how do I say it? This Forbidden Door card is getting really big, and so we did need we did need a bathroom break built into there. So correct. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to sing Kaze Nina Ray with the crowd, and then I'm probably gonna go to the bathroom. Respectfully though.
I agree, and that the promo went crazy from Minoru Suzuki because he said, "Why would I do that? What the fuck even is this?
Why would I do that? I don't even like you." I say he's just like
you. But yeah, I also have zero interest in seeing the match. But the best part of this promo was by far Shibata, or best part of all of this was Shibata. And I just because it's hilarious, because that is exactly what me and my sister say every time that Jericho's on the screen. It's oh brother, this guy stinks.
Also, Shibata is so young these days.
He does. Good. It's the fountain of youth. He always been looking good. Don't lie.
He always been looking good, but like he looked like good.
Extra good.
I'm not gonna lie, the technical wrestlers, they've been in a bag recently. It's like the real killers. Now that everybody being so like, oh, kind of look good too. Like it's like everybody, now that they're really being themselves, it's like,
hello.
Hi.
Keep doing that. Keep doing that.
I support your rights and your wrongs. So next,
speaking of technical wrestling. Oh, go ahead. I was going to talk
about.
Yes.
Well, yes, that's where we're going. That's where we're going. Correct.
Okay. I tweeted earlier. I was like, I'm going to need to be alone with this match.
Yes.
And that was. Oh my God. I also feel like, and I said this before, like I understand the Zack Sabre Jr. Orange Cassidy Forbidden Door, but this just kind of reaffirmed to me that I really wish that we could have had somebody else rather than OC as like Kyle. But anyway, but I also really appreciated, because I feel like Kyle O'Reilly, since coming back, has not been in matches that really showcase his talent to the best of his ability. And this match absolutely did. This match proved, I'm going to say proved, but like, showed everybody who the fuck he was. So first you got to pop out and show niggas. He was showing, everybody who he actually is as a wrestler. Certified boogeyman. But anyway, so I really appreciated him having someone like ZSJ as an opponent, because I knew that was going to come. So to see that come to fruition and to see people, it's always good to see hoopers do that thing, man. And they don't be letting Kyle O'Reilly do his thing.
Them boys did the dance. Like, they did the dance. I like to where I got mad when it was over. I was pissed. I said, what we got to stop this for? Also, I would like to say, Gabe Kidd was so... His loud ass wasn't even mic'd up, and I could hear him during the whole match, bro.
He looked like Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Somebody put in my replies, they said, how much you want to bet that he was in Queen Aminata face backstage? I said 125%. I'm not going to lie. I am terrified to think about what Gabe Kidd's likes look like now that likes are private.
Oh,
because this motherfucker was already wilding. But y'all, whoa. Listen, I'm assuming that another match is going to be happening, because we had like a face-to-face afterwards. Undisputed Kingdom trying to like save Roddy, but Roddy been hanging out with Orange Cassidy recently. Then TMDK, Shane Haston, Robbie Eagles came out to back up Zack Sabre Jr. Then Ishii came out. I don't know what's happening. Somebody said Collision Spoiler said that Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe feel like it's happening.
I'm just so confused. There's so much going on.
I'm not gonna lie. I have to, on Collision, like, I don't even think that they should close with an angle. I think on Collision on Saturday, they need to close with all the match graphics, because I do need to know.
Tell me who's wrestling.
Tell me who's wrestling. Also, Willow and
because
Tam and
also
Chris
like we are. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying Willow and Tam and Chris and Momo is official. We talked about that at the beginning of the show, though.
Yeah. I was saying, I think even us as like, we are nowhere near casual fans. We sit up here doing a show about it. We sit up here like, I don't know who's fighting us.
I still don't know.
Like, pay-per-view is this weekend, bro.
I am happy that we got a Samoa Joe singles match, though. I'm not gonna lie, and I think that Jeff Cobb really does. He really deserves the opportunity, especially with him being TV champion now. And I'm excited for more New Japan champions to be defending on the show and hopefully pick up some wins. So like that makes me really happy.
I'm not mad about it. I just
it's just confusing. You're correct.
We had no weeks of build, or we had weeks of like half a build or suggestions.
Yeah,
and now Jeff Cobb and like everybody's here.
Luckily, though, Jeff Cobb's title is like it's a TV belt, so it is like an open challenge title. But no, I agree. Like it's just like literally pop out, show niggas, whatever. Okay,
like oh my god.
Forbidden Door is my favorite time of the year. I'm very glad that I'm going, and I'm also going to purchase this show like to watch, like home, because I always end up watching the show.
Think of the catering bill.
This is a lot.
Sorry.
Wait, a catering bill. Oh
no,
yeah,
I'm like there's a lot of niggas you gotta feed, bro.
You gotta think. We just thinking about niggas that's on the card that's wrestling. Everybody else still be back there, so it's like a whole bunch of people who ain't even working. Like I already think about the catering bill that for Satnam Singh alone. Like, oh my god,
my goodness,
my goodness. And so that's exciting. I'm interested. You know what else we still don't know? We still don't know who's the last person in the TNT ladder match. I'm thinking that it might be Gabe Kidd, though.
I forgot about that. There's so much going on.
There's so much happening, and it's like that's why I will say I think Rampage and Collision are going to be really important this week, because y'all, if you want to know, unless y'all just coming out like y'all just like free balling on Sunday, just saying whatever, give me whatever, and playing Russian roulette. If so, more power to you. And also, I'm not gonna lie, as somebody who's actually going to this show to cover this show, this is making me very nervous because I don't know what's happening. Eyes closed, just swanging.
I'm really supposed to get ready if y'all don't know what the fuck gonna happen.
The only people that have had their shit together for this show have been the women.
The women.
That's it. Even Chris and Willow, this tag team match being announced, even that makes sense. At least it's been some build towards it, like the relationships. It makes sense.
It feels like they got to this week and they're like, damn, you know who else?
Hey, that remind me of, I don't know if you saw that tweet when Like That originally dropped. They said, I feel like Future and Metro was in the studio said, you know
who else hate that nigga? What's Suzuki doing this weekend?
What's Suzuki doing this weekend? You good? you good?
Y'all asked him?
I don't think Gabe Kidd should not have faced MJF because Gabe Kidd don't need to lose. And I'm not going to lie. MJF think he can talk. You think he can talk? Listen. Talk. Listen, the thing about it, Gabe Kidd don't shut up. Gabe Kidd don't shut up. Y'all gonna have to turn his mic off. Y'all gonna have to turn his mic off to get him to shut up. Y'all gonna have to turn.
And even still, he's still loud as hell. He gonna keep yelling.
He's still loud as hell. And here's the thing: I'm not saying that MJF should be facing Hechicero. Honestly, if it was up to me, MJF would not be on this card at all. I didn't think he would be back this quickly. So honestly, I had never factored him into the Forbidden Doors plans, and so I am just not. I'm not pleased. But what can you do at this point? Let's go ahead and wrap this up. So that's happening. I don't know. I think there's going to be some type of 6-man tag. I think it's probably going to be Ishii and TMDK versus Undisputed Kingdom. Maybe that's going to be on 0 Hour. And then we're going to have fuck if I know. I don't know. Fuck if I know. Anywho, then we get to the main event.
This is the most chaotic, because people always talk about like the build to AEW pay-per-views. There's never been more chaotic than this Forbidden Door.
I do believe it is deliciously chaotic, but it's still chaotic. I'm confused.
I'm not mad. I am confused.
I am confused. I'm having a good time. You ever seen that Jay-Z gif of him? Yeah, I feel like okay.
Or that thing of Timbaland in the studio.
Yeah, like hey, I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time.
Somebody said the original Forbidden Door, but I disagree with that a little bit because you saw what the vision was, and then you had all these injuries and a lot of things fell through.
And they just kept swapping people, like along the way. Like I remember when old boy got hurt, then they swapped in Clark Connors. The original Forbidden Door, don't get me wrong, like it was a random card, and also we didn't have nearly this many people pull up. I think we had Okada and we had Tanahashi, and I think maybe Zack Sabre Jr. And that was it. Like you got to think that first Forbidden Door. I don't even think Naito pulled up like on Dynamite, and we sure like Shingo, none of them. Hiromu like was out. Like we didn't have none of this. Like it felt like everybody from everywhere showed up. Like between now and Collision, because I think Collision's gonna have a lot of folks too. Because Stephanie Becerra is about to be on Collision. It's just a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of good things, especially for somebody.
You want a Collision spoiler?
What? Oh yeah, she's gonna be
Rio.
She about to be the ex. Wait, what?
Rio's back. Yeah. I wouldn't lie about that, guys. I wouldn't lie about that. I used to pray for Tom. Like, she said, I heard you were worried about the ratings.
Wait, you mean to tell me? Wait. So Riho and Shida on the same show?
Don't ask any follow-up questions. I don't know. I just know there's Riho.
What? Bro, okay. Next we had we had the tag match, the main event tag match. Listen, this was good. Swerve and Ospreay versus Gates of Agony. Toa Leona, you got that dog in you. That motherfucker did a moonsault press off the apron, and honestly, he ate the ground and got right back up. Got right back up. You got that dog in you. And here's the thing: the match itself was pretty short. Like it's not going to make any match of the year list. Like, of course, I feel like Swerve and Ospreay got their shit in, both of them. Then they had their little we trust each other type bitch, catching each other's legs, yada yada yada, rah rah. And then Gates of Agony has continued to oppress. It was the ending that really I feel like it should be talked about. Listen, everybody who was just like Swerve, you let him get away with that last week. All right, he got his lick back this time. Because I'm not gonna lie, Ospreay, you have been wilding. Like Billy Gold, how
you came out here and offered a championship title you don't have. You gotta get your ass beat.
You gotta get your ass beat. And then when at the end you snatched that title out of Swerve's hand,
nah, he nasty
bro. He kicked him in the back of the knee and delivered the nastiest, most disgusting, filthiest house call I've ever seen. Now that's what I call cinema, baby. Because I'm not gonna lie. Now look at you, staring at the lights in your panties, in your damn panties. Because it didn't have to be.
What did I do to get here?
I felt like the record scratch, and it was like Ospreay saying, "You're probably wondering how I got here."
No, literally, because it didn't have to be like this, brother.
It didn't have to be like this. You did not have to snatch that title out of Swerve's hand. Now look at you. This was well done. Very well done closing segment. I think Swerve looked very strong, and I think he needed to look very strong. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. I do think Swerve looked strong at the very end. I think, and again, I get the story. I get, obviously, Ospreay is wild, and that's not your title, bro. You sit up here and say, yeah, you can have a world title. Yeah, you're not the world champion. I would have wished, I don't know. I think You need to have an answer. I would like to hear Swerve on the mic one more time before Forbidden Door. I would like to hear him at Collision or to send one more verbal message, because I think we've been seeing a lot of Ospreay. And not as much of Swerve. And Ospreay's involved in all these other storylines, you know? And like I said, I get it. I don't know. I just feel like I want that little added extra, like, it's still me. It's still me. And we got that at the end of this match, but I want some more.
I think that's fair. I think that hopefully it might not be a live segment, but you know, a little pre-tape or something on Collision will be great. And even if we don't get that, because I've been seeing what they've been doing recently on 0 Hour, maybe we'll get something like on 0 Hour in anticipation for the main event, you know, at Forbidden Door. I think that that's also reasonable. And also, I do think that it's very clear now that this is transitional for Swerve. It's like his real rival coming home soon. Like, it's very clear now that, listen, we about to handle
your cowgirl boots.
Get your boots on. We about to handle big business coming soon. Like, he already know what's coming on. Like, his stalker is coming back. He doesn't have a lot of time to, like, you know, worry about Ospreay, because his stalker's coming. Like, his single white female is coming.
Happens. I mean, it happens. And somebody said, you know, like, one thing about Swerve, he don't trust them white boys. That's how it needs to be. All right. Do not trust these white boys.
Listen,
and Swerve knows.
I think that AEW should bring back the blind tag tournament. And I tweeted this because here's the thing, guys. I know this sounds crazy. I think that a Swerve Hangman Can They Coexist tag team would be the most entertaining television ever. And this is why I believe that. Because if you remember that 3-way world title match at Revolution, when Hangman saw that him and Swerve worked together to powerbomb Samoa Joe off of that turnbuckle, he was disgusted with himself. I mean, he was disgusted with himself.
And
Swerve was too good at them buckshot lariats, y'all. He was too good at them buckshot lariats.
He's been practicing. I want, you know, because they did the whole, will they, won't they, with or can they coexist? Not will they, won't they, with MJF and Adam Cole, and then obviously we got Better Than You, baby. Like, it evolved, whatever. I want the answer to be no. I want Swerve and Hangman to be it. Absolutely no growth, no relationship form. I still hate you. I might sabotage us.
Actually, you know what? To an extent, yes, but I want it to be like, and people who remember, this is like, I would say late 2000s WWE on Raw, John Cena and Shawn Michaels, when they were in that world title, WWE title feud, and they ended up winning the World Tag Team Championships for a while. And they were a great team. They kept winning, but they just couldn't get along, because at the end of the day, the world title was between them and yada, yada, yada. I want that on crack. I want them to accidentally keep winning. I want them to be pissed about it. I want them to, like, each try to sabotage each other and continue to retain the belts. Like, and I want them to like have a reign that surpasses Hangman and Kenny's reign, and make Hangman so fucked up in the head about it, of just like, why can I only win as a team with the person I hate the most? And I like, because here's the thing, if they're really supposed to fight forever, I think this story has legs to it. And I think the story has legs to it. I think that even if they don't become friends at one point, I think that they do have to coexist at some point for it to make it meaningful again. Because here's the thing, whenever they wrestle the next time, that should be the last time they wrestle for a long time.
Yes.
And so whenever you want to reheat this story, I think that you have to do it through connection, and then you have to split them. And so blind tag tournament, guys. And here's the thing. The thing is, I think they're even interesting because what you do is if you put them in a team, you can have another double turn situation of where Hangman decides that he doesn't want to be a bad guy anymore. I don't want to be evil anymore. And Swerve's like, you know what? I miss this shit. I actually miss being evil. And that's how they end up. They just end up. I
want Hangman unhinged, crazy for as long as I can get it. Whoa! Hold on. I told y'all.
I said it. Dragon. Somebody's gonna clip that.
That's big money. That's what I like to see. Ladder match, bro.
Correct. All right, guys. It's 12 o'clock. Big Mama gotta go watch the bear. Everybody has things to do. The overall Dynamite is great.
Great Dynamite. I love Kenny Omega. Kenosuke, I missed you.
Yeah, where's he?
Didn't get my Takesha mission in tonight. Yeah,
where's he?
I don't know. He needs to come home.
Come home.
But I was gonna say, guys, don't miss me too bad. I won't be here the month of July. Your girl's going on vacation, around the world adventures. And so Lyric will be holding it down, and you need to watch the show. Otherwise, I will literally eat your thumbs and vomit them out.
Oh, okay. And regardless of me, yeah, it's gonna suck to have Dani going. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, this show can only get but so unhinged with other folks. But I'm thinking about bringing in some guest hosts. Obviously, nobody cooler than her. But
that was actually literally what I texted her. I was like, "Do you have anybody you want to guest host? As long as they're not cooler than me."
Yeah. So I'm actually thinking about having some guest hosts throughout July. So just stay tuned for that. Or it might just be me by myself some weeks, and that's also fine too.
Hold it down, girl.
And make sure that y'all check for me at the Scrum this weekend, covering Forbidden Door. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to be with some good friends. If you know Charlie from Wrestle Pierce, it's always a good time. It's a great time. I love professional wrestling. I will say, I've had a really rough last couple weeks, and today, was a rough day. But this really put me in great spirits. I'm excited for this weekend. Let's go. Let's do this. Woo! All right, guys.
Fuck yeah.
Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you at a later date.
Bye, y'all.